Hello everybody. We're celebrating a double Freedom Day for two juvenile red-tailed hawks, Talon and Boro. So they both came to us about a week apart. Talon came to us second, and he was hit by a car. He had some other injuries besides the car strike that I'll tell you about in just a few minutes. But the first one that came to us, here's Boro. Now Boro got into a tangle with another bird. He had some injuries to his head, some minor lacerations, some feather damage, as you can see in the photograph there. And he also was favoring one of his feet. He had a small injury there that may have been an old squirrel bite, but he didn't really want to use that leg. Now, it didn't take long for him to start feeling better, and we moved him outside so he could start building some strength, and he immediately jumped in his water bowl before we could even change the water. He loved standing in that water bowl. The water felt really good on his feet. But he was only inside for a few days before he was able to move out. He was eating really well on his own. He was very food motivated. You could tell he was feeling better after some medication and some antibiotics. And so we knew that it wasn't going to be very long before he was going to be releasable. His recovery was really quick, and he acclimated well to us giving him care. In fact, he loved coming to the door to greet us when we would come out to feed him. Sometimes he would run over to your shoe thinking that his food was on your shoe. So he was a really fun bird to work with, and we're so glad that his wounds healed so quickly. He only spent a few days in a small enclosure just to get used to being outside again, and then it wasn't very long before he graduated to a larger enclosure to be able to fly from perch to perch and start building that wing strength back up. And that really gave us an opportunity to examine him a little bit further to make sure that he didn't have any other hidden injuries that we weren't aware of. And that gave us an opportunity to make sure that he could pass his live prey test, that he could still hunt on his own just fine. And he passed with flying colors. As you can see there, he would mantle over his food and he would just tear into it. We had no doubt that he was going to do just fine once he got his strength back up and we were able to release him back out into the wild. So Boro was just about ready to go, and he posed for a great picture here the day before we released him. So he did fantastic. So now Talon comes to us about a week later. So Talon had been hit by a car. He was found on the side of the road. And so along with the car strike injuries that we expected, we found that his feet actually had sustained several injuries. It looked like from either some tough hunts that he had, maybe with some squirrel bites, but his feet were in rough shape. And so Valerie had the great idea to, as you can see here in this video, if you've ever tried to give an Epsom salt bath to a red-tailed hawk, here is how you do it. So she got him on the counter, and you could tell by the look on his face, he's not thrilled with it right at this moment, but that feels so good on his feet, and he starts to relax pretty quickly. And we did this a few times over the course of his care, and he just absolutely loved it. He got used to it almost, where he would look forward to it. You could tell once he got down in the water, it must have felt great on his feet, because he really got into it. He really enjoyed it. So, but Talon, he was a really good bird to work with also. He healed very quickly, as you can see here. He's looking down at his feet. I love that picture there. It's like he's saying, yeah, look at me. My feet are looking great. I'm ready to go. But he did not have to stay inside very long. He graduated to an outdoor flight enclosure really fast. He ate well. He passed his live prey test, and it wasn't long before he was ready to go. So we're on our way out to right by our local soccer field here. We've got two in the back there, the orange and the green box. That is Talon and Boro. Talon, if you remember, that's the one that, if you've been watching our videos, the one that got the Epsom salt bath for his feet. He's actually doing really well. He's still got one toe that's a little goofy, but that one toe is not going to stop him from surviving. And then you want to talk about Boro, because you worked with him a lot more than I did.
Yeah. So Boro will be beautiful again after a good molt, but is very, very, very spunky and aggressive and ready to get back out into the wild. You can definitely tell where he got entangled with another bird, but hopefully we're going to put him in an area where he'll have a little bit more of an opportunity.
And so that's exactly what we did. We started with Boro here. We took him out to an area that's got some good open hunting fields and some tree lines, and you can see he was a little shy about coming out. When he's facing the wrong way in the box, he didn't realize that he could just turn around and walk right out the door. So we had to coax him a little bit, but we wanted to get a couple shots of him here. You can tell he's not real thrilled with us in that clip right there. But once he realizes here in just a second, Valerie is going to bravely stick her hand in there and spin him around so that way he can see out. And once he did, you'll see here, once he saw that he could get out there and he could see that open blue sky again, he comes hopping right out. And this is an amazing moment in all of our releases when we get to see the birds come out and have just open sky above them for the first time since their injury. And you can tell that they got to take it all in. They're like, oh, look, I'm free. There's nothing out here. I can fly off and do what I want to do. And those moments are just, they're amazing. There's no other way to describe them. When you see a bird come back out after an injury and just take that first free flight again, there are very few spiritual moments like seeing a bird take its first flight after an injury that you'll ever experience. It's just an amazing feeling to see them fly off and go back to being free again. So once Boro got up there, he looked around at his surroundings. He figured out where it was that he wanted to go. Here's another clip of him just looking around, taking it in, feeling better. I think I'm going to go take off for that tree over there. That low flight there, we're always looking for lift to make sure that he gets enough lift. And right there, when he gets that little increase in height and just starts to climb, that's when we know we've done a good thing and he's going to be just fine. So then we took Talon out to another area a couple miles away, and we've released birds in this area before. It's one of our favorite spots, and there's Talon in there, and his feet were so much better at this release. You can see they're nice bright orange again. He still had some scars to get through, but that'll heal with time. But same thing, he was turned the wrong way in the box, and so we had to help him understand that the door was the other way. And once we did, that big open hunting field out there, the same thing. He took off low, and we were watching for that climb to make sure that he gets enough lift to get up in these trees, and he'll come out here in just a moment. And to see this bird go from one with so many injuries to his feet where he could just hardly walk to now all of a sudden, you'll see when he takes off here for a moment, he runs right out. He stands out there. I have to remind him that the door is on the opposite end. But there he is. And there he goes, that low flight. He's got good lift going, and he climbs right up into that tree just like he was supposed to. It's going to be a bad day for those squirrels out there with these two red tails back on the prowl. And we're so grateful to the people who bring us these birds to give us the opportunity to work with them and return them to the wild. Like I said, there's no more rewarding experience than getting an injured bird like these two were and being able to help them get back out and be wild birds again. So good hunting out there, Talon, and good hunting, Boro. We're going to miss these guys. It was such a pleasure, such a blessing to work with these amazing birds. We're so fortunate. We're so grateful for you for watching. So thank you for watching our video, and we'll see you next time.